Leaving an inheritance is one of the most generous things you can do for your family. But what if part of that inheritance ends up going to an ex-spouse or gets taken by a creditor? Most people assume that if they leave money or assets to their family, it will simply stay with them. But life doesn't always happen that way. Divorce happens, lawsuits happen, financial problems happen. And without the right planning, what you intended for your family slowly, or sometimes quickly, slips away. I'm Anna Burr with Burr Law. And in this video, I want to walk you through how to protect an inheritance from two of the biggest risks, divorce and creditors. And most importantly, how to make sure what you've built stays where you intended. This really comes down to one key idea. It's not just about who you leave your assets to, but it's about how you leave them. Because the way an inheritance is structured can determine whether it stays protected or becomes exposed. The most important tool for protecting an inheritance is using a trust instead of leaving assets outright. When assets are left directly to someone, they become fully theirs, and that means they can also become vulnerable. But when assets are held in a properly structured trust, you can control how those assets are distributed and protect them from outside risks. That includes things like divorce claims or creditor issues. Within a trust, there are specific protections that we can build in. One of those is called a spendthrift provision. What that does is prevent a beneficiary from using their inheritance as collateral. And it also limits a creditor's ability to reach those assets from being distributed. It's a simple concept, but incredibly powerful when it comes to protecting what you've left behind. Another common issue we see is when inherited assets get mixed together with marital assets. For example, if your child deposits an inheritance into a joint checking account with their spouse, that can turn separate property into marital property, meaning it would be divided in a divorce. So even something as simple as how assets are held can make a very big difference. For even stronger protections, many families choose to use a qualified beneficiary trust. Instead of giving a lump sum, the inheritance stays in a trust for the beneficiary's lifetime, providing access and support while keeping the underlying assets protected. This adds a layer of long-term security that simply isn't there with other types of distributions. And this kind of planning doesn't have to stop with your children. You can structure your estate so that assets are protected for future generations as well, helping ensure that what you've built continues to benefit your family and not outside circumstances. At the end of the day, this isn't about control. It's about protection. You've worked hard for what you have, and it makes sense to take a few extra steps to make sure it's not lost to something you never intended. If you're wondering how to structure your estate so your family is protected, the first step is just getting clear on your options. Start with a simple call, and we'll help you design the plan that makes sense for you and your family. Thank you for joining me today. If you found this helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone important to you. Thank you.